Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time to get into the weekend in reality, get these reviews done. This weekend, the reality shows were good. We're going to start up first with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm going to try to keep these to be a short review because a lot of it is repetitive and I'm tired of repeating myself and I want to get through it. So this was a pretty good episode, but I titled it, I recommit to rolling my eyes, especially rolling my eyes at Tisha and Marcel. They did a little bit too much with this church scene. That was something production could have just wrote off. That's a write-off. They didn't do it. Let's write it off. Let's get through this review. So we opened the show with Tiffany telling her husband that Destiny wants to drag her. But I'm like, Tiffany, you didn't tell your husband what you said. You didn't tell your husband that she was from Atlanta, Detroit, and Huntsville, and trying. It wasn't even that you said where she was from. It was how you said it. Like you were trying to say that those places were ghetto. And I don't know how it's ghetto when you living in Huntsville your damn self. Tiffany and Lewis, they need to get it together. Like they're playing. They aren't being themselves because if they are really this messy in real life, I don't see how they have any friends. I don't see how they have any friends if they feel like they're the ones who need to point out what's wrong with everybody in a friend circle. Like sometimes when you in a friend group, they do say like if you can't be honest with your friends, who can you be honest with? But it's a way to do it. It's a way to have some kind of tact. Like everything Tiffany does is just tacky to me, and I be just an eye rolling. But let's move on to Mel and Destiny, another eye roll. I'm like, why are Mel and Destiny having to sit down and talk about Tiffany yet again? Destiny, just tell Melody you don't like the girl. Just say, I don't rock with her. I don't rock with her because of what she said to me the very first time I met her. But mind you, Kimmy ain't rock with you from what you said to her. Like, it's vice versa. That's why I feel like Mel is behind all of this shit. I really do. I really, really do. I want to know why Melody is Melody, right? Why Melody can't see Destiny's point of view in this situation. Because if Tiffany came on the scene wanting to bring up how she ran into some of Martell's side pieces in front of the group circle, Melody, you would have a problem. If Tiffany wanted to come on the scene and bring up something one of your children was doing wrong down at the schoolhouse, Melody, you would have a problem. Is it that you don't have a problem because she's not doing it to you? I just don't understand how if you and Tiffany are such good friends, you can't see her angle. Like I'm just not liking the bitch because I don't like her. Though to me, it ain't nothing wrong with not liking somebody because you don't like them. Sometimes it's the energy. But Tiffany started with Destiny, and I don't understand why you can't see your friend's point of view, but you can see Tiffany, who it seems like you don't know from a can of paint. You can see her point of view. She your mouthpiece this season. I done peep game. Should Destiny drop it? Do you all think Destiny should drop it? I feel like Destiny should just be honest and say, I don't like her, and then we can move accordingly. And I need Mel to stop jumping in like Destiny said. If Tiffany does some fucked up shit, let her catch her bullets. Let her catch them. Because you stay saving her gives her license to feel like, oh, well, I can keep doing it because Mel ain't gonna let nobody say nothing to me. But I feel like Mel keep jumping in because she don't want Tiffany to say, well, Mel said. I'm telling you, I see executive producer all the way through and behind this. Let's get over to Tisha and Marceau. I got two things to say about Tisha and Marceau's bedroom conversations. Number one, Tisha brings up renewing the vows, whatever. I didn't take that good of a note. But I did remember, I recall clearly, Marceau said he does not want to renew his vows this weekend. Now, he probably put 20 on 10 for his reasons why, because what did he say? he wants it to be serious. When he renews his vows, he wants it to be a serious thing, not just a fly-by-night Vegas thing. I could understand that. He doesn't want to play around in y'all Vegas chapels. Okay. He doesn't want it to be a joke. Like, he don't want no Elvis, Michael Jackson theme wedding down in Vegas. I can understand that. But what I don't understand is he doesn't want to do it in front of people. When he recommits his vows, he just wanted to be him and Tisha, nobody else around with they 2 cents, and no cameras. I mean, I guess, like, if you that shy, why are you on this show? You doing everything else in front of the world. And I got some notes on that. So let's keep going. I feel like, I'm always saying I feel like, but I do feel like production some kind of way hinted, or Marceau saw on the call sheet they were going to a chapel, and this was his way of saying, Tisha, don't try me. Don't try. I ain't gonna do it. What got me was the number 2 part of this conversation, because the first part with the chapel thing I felt was production driven, and Marceau was just putting his foot down with production. Part 2 got real. When Tisha started crying about, I just want you to spend some time with your family. I just want you to be with the kids, do stuff with me with the kids. Like, I shouldn't have to take a family vacation alone. When she said that and the tears was rolling down her eyes, I this much felt bad for you, Tisha. I almost felt bad for you. I feel like Tisha is willing to get on TV and play all up through and around her marriage. And she wants everyone to think that it's all good. She on the TV talking about, yeah, we went to counseling and Marceau took me on a date night. And I'm like, girl, a date night? Yeah, he takes you out on a date night on TV, but what is he doing when these cameras are off? Because these tears of yours are way too real. And I'm not saying you got to put all your bad business on the TV screen. No, you don't have to do that, Tisha. But I did really feel some kind of way. I'm like, damn, this girl is sitting here crying. She's hurting. Forget the counseling. She's telling you straight to your face, Marceau, I want to spend time as a family. It ain't that much work to do in the world. It ain't that much. You, Marceau, you're not working 24 hours. Even if you working 12 hours in a day, it's still another 12. You ain't sleeping for 12 hours. Marceau is giving, people doing work outside. I'm so sorry. But Marceau is giving me the vibe of he never want them kids. Or maybe he ain't want Tisha to get pregnant when she got it, because they've already admitted on camera the only reason they got married is because Tisha got got pregnant. I would have never admitted that shit on camera. Like, y'all do too much camera admissions, and then when people throw the shit back in your face, y'all get all mad. But it's definitely giving me, I ain't never really want to get married and have these kids with your ass, no way. But since I did, you got to sit up here and put up. Like, Marceau definitely treats Tisha the way he treats her. 1, because he has backwards ass thinking, but 2, because he know Tisha ain't going nowhere. And Tisha gonna sit up there and put up with it, because I believe Tisha does not have the confidence to go out in the world like Mel does and say, I can make the same amount of money with or without you. Once Tisha gets that kind of confidence in herself, that she can do it without this man, girl, you've been doing it without him all this time anyway. All he doing is paying the bills. All you got to do is get you a job and pay you some bills. You doing everything else anyway, Tisha. Go out there and find you some happiness, girl. I almost felt bad for you. But let's move on. So, up next, Tisha meets up with the Whitlows. In some kind of way, they talk her into still doing this vow renewal thing, talking about somebody gonna renew their vows today. That's more production. It's like I said, production should have just wrote that whole church scene off. I'm sure y'all ain't pay no more than $200-300 to sit up in Vegas and use that chapel for a few hours and have somebody renew their vows. Y'all could have wrote that off. I don't know why Tisha sat down at the church and embarrassed herself, so let's get right to it. Because she done let the Whitlows talk her into still doing the scene. So up next, I ain't take good notes, but I really don't need notes for this church scene. They wasted 20 minutes of our time begging, pleading, shading, down talking, making Tisha look like a fucking fool at this chapel. Marceau told you the day before, Tisha, he wasn't doing this shit. So I don't even know why you opened up the scene with like, it would sure be nice if somebody wanna, recommit. Like recommit was the word of the episode. It would sure be nice if somebody wanna recommit. 15 years sound like a good time to recommit. It's all this love in the room. Anybody wanna recommit? You know it wasn't gonna be your man. So why are you playing these games? Why are you embarrassing yourself? Now the Whitlows number 2, y'all asses talked her into doing this shit, and y'all knew y'all was gonna sit up here and use production's money. Get y'all asses up from the beginning and say we want to recommit. I don't care if it's been 2 days that they've been married. If you all agreed to do whatever y'all was gonna do at this chapel, just get up there and do it so we can move on and eat. I didn't need shade from Martell talking about if Marceau loved Tisha the same, they would have a great marriage. Hell, vice versa, Martell. If you loved your wife the same, you would still be married too. So vice versa. I don't need Melody in the background saying, well, can you just tell her how much you love her? Like, Marceau, clearly, we've been watching his ass on our TV screen for way too long. He's not going to be forced into doing anything. As a matter of fact, the more y'all talk about him standing up, professing his love and whatever he wanted to do at that chapel, the more y'all talk to him like he should do it, the more he's not going to do it just as a controlling mechanism. He loves to embarrass his wife as a way to control her. And 20 minutes in the scene, she looking at him, baby, I knew you wasn't going to do it no way. Bitch, no, you didn't. Because if you knew it, you wouldn't came on my TV screen wasting my time. Like, half of the episode could have went in the trash. That whole church scene could have went in the trash. And the Whitlows, y'all get up here talking about, oh, we'll do it. But I think y'all should do it 15 years now. Like, bitch, you said you would do it. Get up here and do it so we can go eat. That whole scene, I roll it. But let's move on. Let's get on to the dinner scene. It was 4 things I wrote about the dinner scene, and then this review will be tied up in a pretty bow. Number 1, the food looked good. That restaurant, damn it, I should have wrote the name down. I could find it on demand and figure it out. That food looked good. The atmosphere looked nice. I would like to try that out when I go to Vegas. Up next, what I say was next? Got on my nerve next. Oh, this ain't get on my nerve. Marceau checked the Whitlows for their pillow talk. I was all here for it. As a married woman, I will admit, anything that go down in the streets, 9 times out of 10, in the pillow talk, I'm telling my husband, just because I like to talk. I'm a talker. You see, I'm talking at this YouTube camera. I like to talk. 10 times out of 10, my husband don't give a fuck. I'll say not, like maybe one time he might care, but I just like to talk, and there's nothing wrong with pillow talk. I can guarantee you tell my husband something, he probably gonna tell me. We gonna talk about it. We gonna have a good conversation, and then it's dead. I'm never gonna take something my husband brings to me from somebody else and put it back in somebody else's face, and vice versa. Now, at this dinner, Marceau was checking Lewis, like, calm down on your pillow talk. He should have been checking Tiffany. It ain't nothing wrong with Lewis telling his wife what the gentlemen were talking about on the basketball court. I'm pretty sure Maurice told Kimmy that, Tisha came up to me and told me I got to watch Marceau when we go out. I'm tired of Tisha, but Kimmy is the type of wife, she just gonna, I know how Tisha is, but she ain't gonna bring it back up in a group setting. Tiffany needs to learn how to keep her pillow talk on her pillow. Not everything you and your husband discuss needs to be a bone carried around in the reality show of the group. You're gonna find yourself kicked out for the show next season. Because what you're gonna do, Tiffany, you're going to find yourself only recording with Mel, because Destiny ain't going to want to record with you, but Destiny might find herself out of a job if she don't open up herself. Kimmy gonna get tired of your ass. Tisha gonna get tired of your ass. Nobody's gonna want to record with you. So you're gonna find yourself in Huntsville just working a 9 to 5 like everybody else. But anyway, the next thing that had my eyes rolling again was here go Melody and Martell arguing yet again. I think up first, what they argue about first? Martell wants somebody to cheat on Melody. That was a private conversation that Martell said some hateful shit to you. You didn't have to bring that up at dinner. That man is bitter, so he wants you to be bitter. He ain't never gonna be happy for you, Mel, until he finally is find some kind of happiness within himself. Because we already know he don't know how to treat a woman right. So he's never gonna be happy for you until he finds some kind of happiness within him. He gets himself worked on. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but that's his life. Melody, you shouldn't even carry no weight to the shit he says. That's your ex-husband. Who give a fuck what he wants for you? I know them other couples happy this trip over. I would never, ever go on a couple's trip with two people that are divorced. I can't deal with all that headache when I done paid my good money to have a good time in Vegas. I would let their ass sit there and argue at the house by themselves. The second thing I'm rolling my eyes at is Martell. He gets offended when they bring up, we celebrated y'all 10 years, and Melody's like, it's very unfortunate that y'all won't get to celebrate no more years with the Hulks. And Martell's like, oh, you gonna celebrate the Hulks. I'm getting married again. You gonna celebrate me again. And I'm like, psh. I can see Martell gives me the type of man that is gonna get married again. Talking about he values marriage. He doesn't value marriage. He just doesn't want to be alone, and he wants somebody that can cook and clean for his ass. He just wants somebody to have on his arm to say that he married and help take care of all them damn kids. Move on from that, because I'm telling you, everybody had my eyes rolling. The last conversation they had at dinner was a talk about happiness and how happiness can be a mask for depression. I didn't write it all down. It was a very good conversation, and I was happy it was a talking point of the show, because I like when they bring in conversations to the show, like where they have a good conversation, where that's something you could bring around to your real life and reflect on, or maybe have a conversation with your friend group, whatever. Depression is real, and I'm happy they had that conversation, but I got some shit to say about it. That was my point number one. I'm happy they at least had the conversation. Y'all talked about all this shady shit, then get around to some real shit. Number two, I'm happy Marceau was open enough to share. I'm happy he was able to say, like, he's riding on the edge. And he works. Because if he stops, he can see himself slipping into a depression. But he really is depressed, but he's masking it with his work because he doesn't want to fail. Now, he ain't say it exactly like that, but that's the gist of it. But at the end of the day, when Marceau was saying that, I said, damn it, I've been there. I've been there probably in my early 20s, and I just wanted to hustle hard. I was a single mom, and I just wanted to work. I had business. I tried every business hustle you could think of just because I wanted to provide, and I wanted to have what was the best for me and my child. And I was constantly depressed. I was constantly like, if one more thing happens, I might have a breakdown. And I was in a real fear of that. Like, I was constantly working because I was more scared of having that mental breakdown than I was of just feeling the emotions and getting over it. And I had to go to therapy for a lot of shit. Like, I ain't perfect. Nobody on this world is perfect. And I definitely advocate therapy for everyone, because depression is real. It's something that can be situational. It could be something that is like a chemical imbalance. I just encourage everyone, if you ever feel like you at that edge, just seek out help. get counseling. It's covered, and if you got any kind of medical insurance through your job, counseling is covered, and all you have to do is pay the copay, and it makes you feel so much better. Like I did that probably around 29, because I always say my 30th birthday was a breakthrough. So it was around 29. I went to counseling, and I really had to change the way that I thought, in the way that I worked, and I really just started enjoying life and being, happy, finding my happiness and valuing happiness. When Kimmy said that, that was some good tea. You got to value happiness if you don't want to slip into depression. But this ain't got nothing to do with me. Let's close this up with a bow. One thing, I was happy Marceau said it, because it, like I said, I related to it, but I was like, Marceau, at this group table, you are so open to share your depression, to talk about your feelings. One, your wife was sitting there with her mouth wide open, like, my husband is depressed. Like, you ain't even discussing this with your wife first. But then, and it ain't nothing wrong with that, because sometimes you may not want to share it one-on-one with that one person, because you don't want that one person to look at you differently, and he might have felt more comfortable in a group setting sharing it because they was already talking about it, and it could have just been word vomit. Like, he could have just been in a conversation, and it was like, ooh, I done told some facts about myself. That could have been it. But the second thing I was thinking, I was like, well, damn, you done got this vulnerable to tell this truth about yourself. You couldn't even be vulnerable to do this little 15-second vow renewable with your wife. It's just, that whole scene just gave me, Tisha, this man does not care about you. He does not love you the same way you love him. And Tisha, you're going to consistently keep getting embarrassed on this reality show if you don't start to put your foot down and reconfigure the values and the dynamics of your marriage, and let your husband know that you're not going to put up with certain shit anymore, because he's going to continue to continuously to keep doing this to you. Or you're going to have to get up and leave. You're going to have to find some confidence in yourself to know, girl, you can do it. Trust me, it's single parents out here doing shit every day. I just so happen to get married and no longer a single parent. But this is my husband calling me now, but I'm going to call him back because I'm getting ready to wrap this review up in a bow. But Tisha, I want better for you. If you love the man, you can stay with the man, but you have to set some new boundaries within your marriage on what you will or will not put up with. And you need to stop letting him embarrass you on TV. Like, tell him, if you willing to deal with the shit, say, baby, just embarrass me in the house, but on TV, you gonna act like you love me. I don't know, but that's all I got to give this week for this week's episode. It was a good episode. I forgot what's gonna happen next week, but I'm still rocking with it. I can't wait to see. Thank you all so much for watching. Go ahead and like the video. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode. And go ahead and share and hit the subscribe if you're new to the Kiss My Cheeks TV family. I would love you to be a part. I do all the reality show reviews and the competition reality show reviews. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week for the Weekend in Reality. Bye.